Now I'm going to show you how to remove each and every key from this Magic Wand keyboard. I'm going to do this differently for each type of key. Remember, here we have like 4 or so different kinds of keys. We have these long keys, we have these small keys. Those small keys are the same as these upper keys right here. Then we have this key and that key. They are slightly different. And then we have these square keys, which are the majority. And then we have this enter key. So I'm going to start with the small keys. And here there is also a slight difference. The way we remove the bottom 3 is not the way we remove the up arrow. I'm going to show you this in a while. Now, before we remove any of these keys, I'm going to give you a hint on how to go about removing them. Now, you have your sharp pin or your toothpick or whichever item you want to use. It should be as thin as possible, but also able to go between the key and the board itself. You can lift the key slightly and take a peek inside. If you take a peek inside, you'll be able to see the butterfly hinge. I'm going to show you that in a moment. Once you see that hinge, you'll be able to know the orientation of the key, which side it is hooked onto the butterfly hinge and which side slides out. Now let me remove this first so that you can have a good idea of what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to pop it open. I'm going to hold this other side, and on this other side I'm going to pop it up. There it is, it's out. I don't know if you can see this clearly, but there is a part which clicks onto the butterfly hinge, and there is a part which slides into the butterfly hinge. The part which slides into this is this other part. The part which clicks into the butterfly hinge is this part. So when I peep, I can see the orientation of this butterfly hinge is this way. So I'm able to know to decide it's either on this side or this side. And that's how we remove the rest of this, and how these others are removed all the way up to the escape button. All these are removed on the same way as this, with the exception of this small key up arrow. This one is removed from this other side. Hold the opposite side and lift it from the other end. Now it's easier to remove this key when you're holding it sideways, so that you're able to peep right through and see if you're prying in the right area. So once my prying tool is between the butterfly hinge and the key itself, then I lift slowly up and it pops right out. You can see it has popped out cleanly. So this one is removed from this other side, while opposed to this other one is unhooked from this other side. Then you just slide it out and it comes out that easily. Now I'm also going to show you how to return this. There is a part which slides in. There are hooks. I don't know if you can see that clearly. There are hooks right here. These ones slide into these portions, and those are the ones we slide in first. Then we press down this portion into these two holes right here. So let me demonstrate that. Slide in this portion first of all. Once it's in place, then you push down on this other side and it clicks into place. That's how you return it. The left key, those are the portions which slide in, and that's the portion which gets hooked into this portion here. So we'll slide in these others first. Once they slide in, you can be able to tell it has slid in, because if you try to lift it up, it is held back in place. Then once it does that, then you just push gently but firmly, and it will go back into place. So that's how you remove the arrow keys and all these small keys up here. Now for the box keys, I'm going to remove this Alt key. Again, I'm going to take a pick and look under the key to see the orientation of the butterfly hinge. The butterfly hinge is oriented this way, up, down. So I'm also going to see which end of the butterfly hinge, or which side of the butterfly hinge, is on the inside. So the one which is on the inside is attached to the top portion of the key. So I know this is the side I'll pop, this is the side I will slide out. I'm going to show you that in a moment. Let me pop it out and show you. I've popped the top portion and I'm holding the lower portion of the key. Once that pops out, then I slide the key out. Let me bring it near so that you can be able to see this. We have these two portions of the key, these two parts. This part of the butterfly hinge has two protrusions which slide into this, and then this upper part, these are the opposite end, is on the inner side. As you can see, it's on the inner side of the hinge. They will click into place in these two small notches here. So what I'm looking for is the orientation of the butterfly hinge. In this case, it is oriented this way as opposed to this way. It is oriented this way. If I lift it up, you can see it is oriented. Let me show you sideways view, this way. And then the inner portion is the one which has the click-ons. The outer portion is the one which has the sliding bit. So if once you get that, then the rest of the keys are easy to remove. Take a peek inside and see the orientation. Then look for the part with the inner portion. This is the one which clicks into place, and the one on the outside is the one which slides into place. Once you know that, then you'll know how to lift the key and which side to pop. You pop the one with the inner side. The inner part of the butterfly valve clicks into place. The outer portion slides into place. You don't want to pop that, you'll break these two locks. So once you know that, you can be able to remove any of these box keys. Now to return it is the same thing. Let's return it. Of course, we need our key to face the right side up, but we can always tell. The sliding bit goes into this. So we slide it first of all into place. Once we slide it into place, and we know, so the sliding portion slides into place first of all. Once you've slid it into place, if you try to lift it up, it won't come out except the upper part. Then now you push the top part down, gently but firmly. That key is back in its place. So the rest of these keys, the box keys or the square keys, that's how you pop them out. Let me remove another at random. Let's remove the H. Here's the H. I've popped the top button off, then I'll slide the lower portion off. So what are dirty, this one needs cleaning, and that's for another time. You can see they're all hinged, they all slide into the lower part and then they click into place on the upper part. So returning it is the same. You slide back the lower portion until it holds. Once you're sure it is holding, then you press the top part firmly into place. It clicks back. So all this, the sliding portion is on the lower part of the keys. The part which pops into place is on the top part. Now let's tackle the enter key. The enter key is a bit special. As you can see, it's a bit longer, and logically one hinge would not be enough. It would be one long big hinge. So as with others, there is one thing which is common. You take a peep and see the orientation of the hinges. I've already seen there are two hinges inside here, and there's also a metal bar. Now what you want to do is you want to pop the side where the metal bar is opposite. The metal bar seems to be attached to that side, so we want to pop on this other side. Let's put pop this first hinge. You tackle it from the side of the hinge. This is quite a fight. I've managed to push it up, and the hinges can be seen. Let me just open it quickly. Now on this other side we slide it out. So we turn it back to the flat position and slide it out. We are sliding it back. There it is, backwards. There is our wire which is on this other opposite end. As you can see, the two hinges, they're the same as the ones on these other keys. I've opened them nicely, none is broken. This wire hinge is also a hinge. It goes to the lock position there, and also goes right in here. You can see where the needle is going through. It locks into place. It gives this key more strength. Now taking it back, we insert these wires first of all into its position. I don't know if you can see that. And then we slide back this key so that the back portions of the hinges can hold, and then we push the front portion down firmly. And that's our key back in place. It's not going anywhere. So that's how you remove the enter key. Now let's tackle the shift key. Again, we want to look down here, and I'm suspecting we have two or so hinges. So we are tackling the shift key. I'm also going to take a peek under the key and see the orientation of the hinge. I don't know if you can see that. You can see that the upper portion is the one which has the clicking portion, and the lower portion has the one which has the sliding. So we pop it from the top. So see it. Turn it this other side to pop this other key. So the upper part of the key, I've popped it open. We turn it this way so that you can be able to see. And it slides upwards. So it has also the metal hinges which lock into place at that portion. Let me slide it out. That's our shift key. We're turning it back into place. First of all, put in the metal lock, slide it into position. Then we want to slide this lower part of the butterfly hinge into their space. Their space is right here. And we do that by sliding this backwards, like that. And now we can push on the top portion of this button to lock it into place. And that's it. It's not going anywhere. It's back in place. So we have tackled the lower keys, the square keys, the enter, the shift. Let's tackle this last. We know how to tackle these, all the square keys. We know how to handle those. We know how to handle all those. So there is a slight difference with these two keys. I think we tackle this first, then we'll come down this way. 1, 2, 3. Come down that way. While these other buttons are oriented up down, this one is oriented across. So let me just return it back into its place. Back in place. That one is done. Let's look at that key. Now the tab key, you pop it from the top and lift it up. It also has a metal wire inside which helps in the locking of the key to the board, and its butterfly hinge is a bit wider, but the metal pin is on the opposite side compared to the shift key. It's on the top part. So taking it back is the same thing. Make sure the locks are in place. But now we have to slide it back. Slide the lower portion in first and make sure that they're in place. Once they're in place and we cannot lift, you can see it, I'm trying to lift the lower back portion, it cannot lift, then I push or press down this gently in order to lock the upper portion. So it's rather tricky, but once you've done that, it comes back to its position nicely. So let's tackle the number 1 key, or the exclamation key. You can see the butterfly hinge is oriented up down, so I'll be able popping it on the top or on the lower portion. So let me confirm which side. So I'm popping it on the upper portion. When you slide back, then it leaves these hinges where it slides in. So this one is oriented this way and this one is oriented this way. So returning it, slide these portions back here, push it down and slide it back. You want to confirm if it is in place, try to lift it up. It's holding, then push up the top portion back into place. Sorry. That is back in its place. Now going down the tab key, you pop it from the top, you slide it out from the bottom bit. And that's how you return it to. You slide it first, the bottom bit, then you press it back on. I'm not going to do that, you've gotten the concept. And, that's it. Now let's tackle the remaining key, that's this spacebar. Now the spacebar seems to be the most daunting of them all, and the concept of removing it and returning it is the same. Now you can decide which side you want to look through so as to determine how to open it. I'm going to take a peek down here, lift it up gently and look what lies underneath. I don't know if you can see that. The hinge, there is a hinge right here and there is another hinge right here. There are two hinges and they are oriented up down. So we know that we will either pop the top or pop the bottom. So which side to pop, we want to confirm that. Now, opening down here, let me see. Let's look at it from sideways. Just lift it up. Okay, the side to pop is the top bit, because the inner side of the butterfly hinge is attached to the top portion, and that's the side we pop open. And I've also seen there's a metal pin inside here which is on this other side, so it's more like the tab button or the shift button. There is a metal tab on the top portion, so we'll pop the top part and slide out the bottom part. So let's do this. So I popped one off. I don't know if you can see that. One hinge is off. Show you that. Now the next one is on this side. We are popping the top portion. Try to get our pin in between the butterfly hinge and you are holding on the lower portion. Once it's there, just pop it up. Can use this other side as leverage also, because it's easier to work from this, it's more open. Popped one side, second side is popped open. So that's how it looks like on the inside. Both are popped. And so just slide the key back and down. Lift the lower portion, slide it back for it to release from the board. There it is. And it has 3 wires inside. All these are to give it strength and to help it to attach and to lock. It's locking on 2 different portions, and so this will be a bit tricky to return, but I will tackle it. That's how you disconnect the spacebar. Now reattaching the spacebar is kind of tricky because of these 2 metal rods. So we want to attach them. First of all, I've just lifted the bottom one and attach it to its locking position. The locking position I want is that we'll attach the bottom wire pin into its locking position. Let me show you the locking position. Here is the lock. You can see where the needle has gone through. The lower bit will go through this lower portion and the upper bit will go through this. This is the upper bit, which will go through here. Make sure the hinge corresponds to how these slots are, because you don't want to push this in and lock it into place and then you find yourself you cannot be able to lock the hinges in place too. So we'll put the lower metal rod back into its lock position first of all. Let's do it from down here. Hope you can be able to see it clearly. It's in place. I'll also do the upper portion. Let me show you how that one has gone in. Those are the locks. The lower portion has gone in. Same to this other side. So I want to insert this upper portion before I slide this other portion too. I've lifted up the pin so that when I place it back down, it just slides into place. That's slid into place on both sides. And then now I want to slide the lower portion into place in its locks. This is a tricky bit. Once it's slid into its place, then I press the upper part to lock into place, and that's how you return it. That's it. So that's how you remove each key of this Apple Magic keyboard and how you return them back into place. I hope this has helped someone. If you want to repair any key, now you can be able to do so without any fear, and you can be well informed. Once again, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate. Kindly subscribe to the channel, share, and also like these videos.